Pittsburgh, Weiss Schwarz back again. Another set review. Today we were doing blue. Joined today by Andy,
Hello.
Kit, and Niko from Burn 1.
Hey guys.
Hello.
And then Ollie.
What's up?
We are going to get through as much as we can before Kit has to leave. Kit's pre-rated some cards, so we'll keep going as we do. When Kit has to dip out, he will dip out, but we're going to get moving. Andy, go ahead. Your God-given right, your brainstorm.
My birthright.
Yep.
What is this? Brainstorm. What's that? Flip over the top 4 cards. You're like, oh, that's so cool. Reach climax, just get a character back. That's so good. And then when you play a climax, you can give a character twin drive. It's a really nice second effect on a brainstormer.
Yep.
It's fucking stupid.
And this card is also a combo piece for some of the other previous colors. Yes.
Yeah. A couple cards interact with it. But, like, I don't know. I think this is the dumbest second effect on this brainstorm that's been printed in a long time. Massive implications for 8 standby. Really good implications for any other deck. Basically,
being able to pay out whenever.
Impossible to have, like, dirty stock with Choice Pants if you decide to play it. You have so many things that pay out, which we'll get into. But yeah, insane card. One of the reasons to play Mushoku Tensei. And we'll just move on. Pretty simple. We got this Roxy combo finisher. During your turn, gains 2k, so it's 11k base. On play, heal. And then at the end of this card's attack, if you have the pants in your climax zone, and you have one other character, so if you're playing the game, perform one of the following 2 effects. Deal 1, which has no cost, you just do it. Or you can ditch 2 and then burn 3. End of attack means that you get to choose, depending on if your opponent ate that damage or not, which is the right thing to do. Gives you a lot more choice than you probably would think. A lot more effective finisher than it might read, especially when you have tap counter to follow it up, and this has no additional stock cost.
Yep.
Very efficient finisher.
It's like Trouble Girl, but better.
Basically.
It's literally better Trouble Girl.
Yep, modular finisher works well with like the package that yellow blue wants to work with. So
Yeah, for sure. Pretty simple card. I don't know. I guess I feel like we kind of went really quickly over the past 2, but like they're very strong cards. They're just pretty simple.
they're pretty straightforward if you've been playing the game for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Boring, but good. You know.
Next, Kit, go ahead.
All right, this is a level 0 Roxy. When it comes into play, you can ditch a card to salvage the 1/0 event, the pendant event. It's really good. And then the other effect on it, it's like you can look at the top card of your opponent's deck and the bottom card of your opponent's deck. Let me tell you, it's really annoying playing this card and having to look at the top and bottom card of your deck or your opponent's deck. But yeah, it's like almost forced to play because of how strong the 1/0 is, even though the card's not great.
I can't believe they made this scene into a
Yeah.
card.
It's pretty funny.
He's
Yeah.
literally masturbating.
Yeah, she's
What? I don't believe
exhausting.
you. Can we get zoom out?
God. I thought this was like an adventure show. Is it
There's-
not? Is
there's-
this like
This
There's
show is
nothing
This
wrong with
Andy. This show is
This show's
really,
really
horny.
horny.
Yeah, it's really
the show.
horny.
Dude, the show is way too real, to be
So,
honest.
do you know how all art exists on a spectrum of horny to revenge? Mushoku is like all the way out on the horny edge. Like,
oh, so this is like what's the rod or this rod? The show that Brandon likes. Fucking
redo of Healer?
Yeah, it's like redo of Healer.
It's
but
not
other
that
end of the
horny.
spectrum.
Dude, that's
No,
some good garbage right there.
Yeah, redo of Healer is
Yeah.
ultra horny.
Well, I thought you said the scale was horny to revenge.
Well, yeah, well, redo of Healer exists in this weird mid ground where it's on.
The paradox.
Well,
It's
no,
on
yeah,
both sides at
yeah,
one
it's on
time.
both sides at the same time.
Schrodinger's on it.
Schrodinger's hentai.
Yeah, Schrodinger's art. But yeah, like Kit said, the card's not great, but you will play it. There are weird endgame plays you can go for with this card, where like you can reveal your top trigger with clean cut and then like look at their top card and swing for better lethals, which is like pretty funny, but just extra utility. Next, 2K counter, whatever.
Yo, dude, yeah, it's a 2K counter.
No one wastes their turn. Niko, go ahead.
Okay, so we got this other Roxy then. If you are a level 3 or higher, this gets the following ability. Put this card in the waiting room, and you can choose up to one Miggered Mage Roxy in your hand and place it in the slot this was in. Miggered Mage Roxy is a 2k front assist, and is it draw to ditch one?
Yes.
Okay, and it's also a draw to ditch one, and it has one other effect I think I'm forgetting.
When you trigger a climax, give a character 1k in Twin Drive for the turn.
Okay. Yeah, so it turns into a really nice, good card for free once you're level 0. Its other effect is it gives the level 1 Rudius from the trial deck an extra 1,000 power, which puts it over, and then it also gives all your other characters in general 500 power. So with this card out on the field, the Rudius just sits at a blank 6/5 on defense, or 6/5 without climax or any other power pumps. And with the climax, it gets to 9k. I think this card is really, really strong in choice bands.
So from the list I've seen, people aren't playing this card, and I don't understand why. Could someone explain?
Okay, here's why.
It's good, but it might not be good enough.
Go ahead,
This card
Kit.
seems
Go
like
ahead.
a payoff card.
While you're still here, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So part of the reason people don't play this card is because it puts your Rudies at a power level that like barely matters, and then like your deck is also very tight on spots. So usually you just do like a 1-1 split on this if you're gonna play it at all. I don't think I've even seen mini lists play more than
Yeah,
one.
What do you mean power level that's not
So
relevant? I thought that was like a good level to be at to back up.
So the whole idea is that your battle opponent is going to be 7/5. It doesn't get Rudy over a 2k counter.
Yeah.
So he gets to 65.
No,
I think
versus
it's
standby.
85.
Versus standby.
We're talking about versus standby. Like the one time power matters the most is that this is the reason you would have it, right?
Yeah, like the idea is that you're tying a 7/5 normally, and then your card's plussing. So why do you care? The biggest problem against this card is slots, because when you play this card at a higher count than 1, you are saying I am playing to back up my 1/0 Rudy combos. If you are playing to back up your 1/0 Rudy combos, you are playing 2 Lifas or 2k counters. So you're losing 3 slots. The slots are the problem here. So I was on a 1-1 split for a long time. I actually cut this card for additional level 0s because slots were way too tight.
Yeah, I've been playing this deck like all week, and the more I play it, the more I want to cut this card.
Well, I'm confused.
doesn't
Doesn't your Rudy back up to 85?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It goes to 65 with this back row.
Yes. We're talking about on attack.
We're talking on attack, which is what matters the most.
On attack, you're going to 95.
No, you go to
9K.
90.
You're going to
I
9.
mean-
You go to 9.
Well, he gets 1,000 from himself, right? So
No, he's 75 normally, and then plus another 15 to 9.
I feel like the defensive power is a little more important, right? Because like they're gonna like counter it's whatever, right? Because you still got your plus.
Okay,
anyways.
so let me show you this scenario too. Let's just say we're playing the mirror match because we're looking at the set right now.
Okay.
Your 1-1 7/5s in standby are automatically 8/5s as soon as you drop down the standby, and then that's not including the fact that you get an extra 2,000 powers like split among wherever you want. And if you look at the Kaguya matchup, defensively this sucks because Kaguya just powers over it. Like what the hell are you gonna do?
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah, it's.
I think it's more of a slot issue because we'll see in the next card. This set has incredibly good tools to like sandbag whenever it wants to, and like keep clean stock. So there's no reason to invest in like defensive cross turn board.
Well, my other thing is because you have the 1-0 event. You can afford to like run lean on some card counts, right?
Yeah, that's why I have this as a 1-1 split right now. But even playing it as a 1-1 split, it never feels good.
Yeah, it doesn't. I cut it for additional level 0 cards to like up my floor in other places.
Goblin Slayer does the same thing though, right? Like they have their beefy Goblin Slayers and then the back row behind it, so they back up big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a big
See
strategy.
how many Goblin Slayers are in the current meta? None. All right, next card.
We're talking about the English meta kit.
Oh, you say that people are gonna play Goblin Slayer in English.
Yeah, and I don't feel like Goblin Slayer is like poorly positioned or anything. I think it's a fine deck.
I mean, it's more just like, again, it's a slot issue, right?
Yeah.
At a 1-1
I can believe
split,
not being an issue.
at a 1-1 split, you can play it. The on attack power seems good, but ends up not being as relevant as you think. And then you don't have the space to play the backups is the biggest issue. The biggest issue with this card is when you play into it, you've lost all of your additional level 1 slots, which are already tight because you're playing the event. So because you've lost all those slots, you end up losing utility in the long run versus just playing as an on-attack deck and just trying to be more non-interactive because that's basically what you are.
The deck
As
is
choice
very
pants.
solitaire.
But I mean,
Guess
like,
this doesn't
I'm not
really-
gonna lie, card's good. Like, I'm not gonna say it's bad. You can choose to cut all your auxiliary and play for board at 1. I just think it's worse than playing the sandbag cards. The sandbag
I was
cards
gonna
end up being better.
I was gonna say, like, it doesn't really scale well, right? Like the Priestess and Goblin Slayer, I guess, scales well, but this only gives 1,000 power to the
Yeah,
that
otherwise the
specific
global 5, yeah.
Rudy.
Okay, all right. I see the reasoning.
Alright. Good talk. Next card. Who's card?
Okay, we got this 1-0 Roxy, 500 for each other, so it's at 6k. And then when you trigger the TD level 1 choice combo or the level 3 pants combo CX, you can pay 1 to draw. Really powerful card.
Card's insane.
Yep,
Yeah,
the
the
card
card-
is nutty. Like
Yeah.
this is part of the whole reason you end up playing these specific split of climaxes in this whole package, and the fact that you can kind of cheese out like dirtle turns, like Carmen was alluding to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, I mean, it just basically turns all your choices into a draw one. Like,
Yeah, it's that, and the fact that you just never have dirty stock, so you're never like forced to have to like dig down into your stock to pay something out. So you're able to like keep more of a surplus of stock in general because of that.
It also plays
Yeah.
really well into the 1-0 event because the 1-0 event causes you to go down in hand the turn you play it. So every climax that you trigger, especially when you trigger choice,
Plus
because
two.
choice you can stock, you don't even lose out on stock when you take stock on choice. You get the bag and you get the plus, which is really, really good for your sandbag turns where you're
yeah,
not playing combo.
absolutely. It like basically, if you had a card that said all my triggers are now +2 instead of +1, like, would you play it? Yes. That's what it
Well,
comes down to,
how
right?
many of this do you play? I guess you guys have all been messed with set. I really haven't touched it, but
Most meta
I-
lists
I'm
right
looking
now
at.
We pay
play
as
it
a-
as
a
2 to
of-
3.
Yeah.
2 to 3
Yeah.
of, and most games I actually end up putting this in the back for like 2 turns or so before I push it up because
Yeah.
I just want this effect on the board.
That effect triggers no matter where this card is. This card can sit in back row. It has to.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it seems like something you'd maybe want in the back row instead, but then I don't know. I only played against this blue yellow deck once, and it's when Carmen slammed 3 of these at level 1 against me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a very good level 1 combo. But
That was my backup
after seeing
plan.
the whole deck.
Yeah.
It was really. It's not really a level 1 combo. It's more of like decks 2 and 3 are insane on the amount of times you trigger, and like you hit like choices.
Because you're
and so
usually
forth. So your
usually
hand can go to 0 and then suddenly have like a full hand again.
if you think about the 1-0 event, right? When you resolve the 1-0 event and you refresh, you're 2 cards out on deck that you shouldn't be. So like you're like +2 compression, right? So you're for every event you resolve. So you're usually triggering a lot more even when you're sandbagging, and this makes your sandbag turns just that much stronger.
Okay, but also like the blue yellow deck also has other built-in safeguards against running dirty, right? Like your brainstorm inherently gives twin drive, which helps you
Yeah,
clean your
it's-
stock.
Only
It's
on
not a-
climax.
Well, Andy, you have to
Yeah.
look at it this way. This is a sandbag tool that not only helps you run clean, but also refills your hand.
Yeah, the big thing about this card is not that it keeps your stock clean, because like for the most part, the set doesn't have an issue with that at all. It's the fact that this is potentially a +2 every time you trigger in a set where you like sacrifice hand size, like you said earlier with the 1-0 event, and then when you level up, suddenly your 6-card hand is just like, or like 7-card hand is suddenly like a 9-card hand the next turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a really powerful tool for like taking more passive turns, right? Where all you're trying to do is push damage to get towards your finisher. It's
Yep.
really powerful card.
Yeah, I think maybe I was just getting hung up on just seeing it more for like a 106k instead
Yeah,
of like the
You got-
You know
secondary
what? I've
effect.
convinced myself. It's an A.
you got to look at the card as it's like a card that makes all your climaxes +2 that can also profitably attack a lot of the
A
time.
minus.
So, yeah, card's really strong.
Okay, yeah, I can dig it.
Moving on. Who's this? This is back to Andy, right?
Andy.
Back to me, right?
Yep.
We got this witch girl. Your characters in front get 2,000 power. Seems like a great standby target. When this is placed from hand to stage, draw 2 card, and when your character's trigger check reveals a climax to the character, give it 1,000 power, and when this card attacks, you give. So when you reveal a climax, you give 1,000 power and twin drive.
Yep.
Yes.
It's weird
You can,
timing.
yeah, as long as it's on the board, you can literally never have a dirty stock.
Yeah, I honestly would probably rate this more like Niko saying like more like a B minus. But the issue for me is that this is still a powerful card in standby, so like the card overall is just good. I think
Yeah.
in the choice pants list, it's not as good. It's just there.
It is extra dig towards your climax if you need
Yeah.
it.
So if you're
And,
not running the thing that changes into this, the level 0 that upgrades into this,
It's a level 1 that upgrades
Level
into
1, yeah.
this. Yeah.
or yeah, I don't know if you'd play this in the choice pants.
I still play one.
I still,
If you,
still probably play
play-
1 or 2 because it's a good
You need
enough card for
experience.
card draw,
Yeah, and experience.
and you need experience.
This also makes your finisher 13k. So you can like dirtle and play down just to heal, and your combo will probably live if you're like
Well-
not in a good position to kill people.
Well, your combo loses power on defense.
Oh,
So-
does it? It's only during your
Yeah.
turn. Oh,
Yeah,
never
it's
mind then.
13 on turn. It would be 11 off with this.
Okay, maybe that's not quite as good then.
I mean, I think the biggest thing with this card is like, I think Kit mentioned it, standby. So if you can
Mhm.
accelerate yourself to a state where this card is down on like one of your like level 1 turns, right? Where like you go to 2 from your
Yep.
accelerates, the game quickly spirals out of control in your favor because every single standby you trigger gets paid out and turns into, you know, a twin drive for an additional standby. So you start ramping out these massive boards after you've already accelerated yourself to 1, where now Paul's coming down. Now, like, your Eris that can burn if your opponent tries to kill it comes down. Like, these massive cards are coming out way earlier than they should, and your stock isn't made dirty for, like, multiple triggers. The card, it's nowhere near as good as something like Asuna, right? Where Asuna has the memory kick and stuff, but
Mhm.
it feels almost as important when you're playing the deck to get down when you can because of how bad it can like steamroll on your opponent. Like you can really snowball into insane boards with this card down, and I think I'm gonna actually give it the B plus. I'm a big fan of that third effect in standby. In the other decks, it's just a dig. It's just a dig
Yep.
card into a climax and something that helps your cards get over standby cards, but otherwise, like in standby decks, it's insane.
Yeah. And the 1K power 2 is like randomly useful as well. So
Mm-hmm. Can quickly get out of control. Somebody was trying to say something. Andy?
I sound like, all right, cool. Next card.
All right.
Yeah.
Whose card is this?
You,
Carmen.
isn't
It's
it?
mine. Okay. Another
Yeah.
level 0 Roxy. When you play it, you reveal top. If it's a character or an event, this can side attack without soul penalty. And on attack, choose one of your characters, and it gets 1500 power to the turn. Don't think there's a reason to play this card.
Nope.
Yeah, if I mean maybe if this is like okay to Dow, right? Because you
guess.
can pump one lane over something, this can side another 1/1 or 2/2. It's kind of like the idea of playing the Karumi, right?
I guess.
For the mirror.
I like it.
It's not terrible. There's like not the worst card you can put in your deck, I think.
True. All right. Next. Get.
All right, this guy's sick. He shows up for one episode and then he never comes back.
I vaguely remember this guy actually.
During your turn, this gains 1k power, so it's a 3k on your turn. When the battle point of this becomes reversed, you can set this to memory and then bring it back at this next draw phase.
Level 0
That's
time
a
machine.
2K time machine. Oh, 3K
Yeah.
time machine.
It's fine.
There's like 3 other +ing zeros I'd play before this.
Oh god, it's this guy.
Niko, go ahead.
All right,
What?
so we have.
Oh no!
We have this actual cursed card. If you do not have another character with Roxy in name, this cannot attack. Yo, lore. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this to an empty slot in your front row that has an opponent character opposite that slot. So it's a 3k chaser.
This is the card that's on that yellow event, right? It's like the same
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the figure.
He's trying to lick the finger.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
really
he's not
likes
trying.
Roxy.
He's doing.
He's
He
horny.
doing it.
really likes Roxy.
He's horny.
He is very horny.
Don't think you play it. Having to have
Oh,
another
wow.
character down to have a 3k chaser is not good.
I agree. At least it's Roxy, which has a lot of good cards you put at 0 out anyway, but still not a good enough card.
Not good. Next. Only
This is me, right? Yeah. This gets 1K for each of your 6 sided world characters, so it's at 10. One of the attacks, if the book is in your climax zone, perform the following action twice. Reveal the top card of your library, put the 6-sided world character or an event point in your hand. Hey, it's what's her name? Kotori.
it's a
but at level
balanced
2.
version of Koturi. This is probably what
This is
Koturi
literally
should have
Kotori,
been.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's Koturi, but it's balanced instead of being broken.
You mean because it's on a level 2?
Mm-hmm.
What do
I don't think double Massachusetts should exist. But that's just me.
It's an obnoxious effect. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't think this effect should exist for free. Like, even dude, when that effect, pops off, even in Dalsegno, it feels broken. And that card's a 1/1. Like, come on. Way too good.
Mm-hmm.
But, whatever. Is what it is. Back to Andy.
All right, we got this demon girl. When you play her, look at 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose up to one of them to put on the bottom of their deck, and up to one of, and then everything else back on top. So like a Fate Seal 2, kind of. Pretty dope. When this attacks, choose one of your 6 world characters, and for that turn, the character gets 3,000 power. You can choose itself. And when this gets reversed in battle, reveal top card of your deck. If it's a level 2 or higher, you may return this to your hand.
Yeah, this is cute, but not
Yeah,
actually that
it's-
great.
If it had, I don't know, if it had like a different mix of effect, it'd be, if it was a better standby target, I'd like it. But
It does get really big just by itself. But it's pretty whatever.
It only gets big by itself on the turn it's played though. On defense, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has a
Well,
chance
because
to go back to your hand anyway.
once it gets run over, so they can go
Yeah.
back. Is the idea. I don't think it's too good.
yeah, but then it's not really like healing.
I was
or
like,
doing-
yeah, it gets to go back, and then you can pay 2 stock for that effect, which you totally
Very
wanna do.
cute, but not very good.
Pretty cool if it healed.
It'd be better if it mochaed the cards. Like
No,
having to put it on the bottom's actually.
No,
not
it's actually
necessarily
really
the
good
best.
because in set 2, I know they're gonna print what's that effect called?
Oh, Icy
middle-
Tail
Icy Tail. Yeah, when
Oh,
you
Jesus
top check 3
Christ.
times and put 3
combos.
climax in the bottom, and then you burn them for 3, it's gonna be sick.
Broken.
It's going to be like Curiosina, but for Icy Tail, it's going to burn 2 for every climax.
No,
Also,
God.
look, she has such a great smile. All right, next card.
I literally don't remember this character.
She shows up for 1 episode at the end, and because she's like a
She
main
shows up for
component.
I think literally less than a minute.
Yeah, she's
All
really
right.
shows up and starts walking in the desert. That's her.
This
role in
Roxy
season
is
1.
Oh,
she's cringing.
This is this is a really good Roxy.
If you're playing the game, it's a 2/5 and then has twin drive.
Nice. It has the
Yeah.
effect that every other one of your cards get for playing the game, usually.
It's fine. Kit, go ahead.
That's Roxy's mom.
Is
Okay,
Roxy's
it's
mom.
my turn.
It
Yep,
is
Roxy's
Roxy's
mom bonds to Warm Look Roxy or the dad. Resonate, you reveal the dad, and it gains 2k power.
F.
Wait, that's the dad.
Oh, sorry. If all your other characters gain 2k power.
F plus.
Characters. Reveal Rowan. Which one's Rowan Maguda?
The dad.
The dad.
Next one.
Magurdia.
It
It's
does
basic.
apple bonds to your level, or not to your level 1, your finisher combo.
Yeah.
It's like a worse version of that card in ReZero
Yeah.
that Dean liked. Yeah.
The Burger Cats. Yeah.
Burger Cats. Yeah.
Next, Niko.
Right, we have. What was this dude's name?
Rowan.
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 Yeah, Rowan. He can bond to either his wife or the level 3 Roxy, and then you can resonate. Reveal the wife at the start of your climax phase. He gets 6k, so he gets to swing in at 8-5. No.
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 Cool package.
No.
Ollie, go ahead.
Okay, we got Dragon Dude. 114k. If you have one of us other front row characters, it gets 3,500 power. And the character opposite, the character opposite this gets -1 level. Interesting. Character opposite this gains the following ability. If the card opposite of this has a higher level in this level than the level of this card, this cannot front attack. Okay, wait, hold on a second. So it gives -1 level to what's in front of it. And then if its level is higher than what it's in front of, that character can't front.
Yeah.
So
Level
basically
3
makes
is
level
pretty
one
effective.
high. Card. It's like that level
Okay.
0 card, yeah.
Oh, the
Priscilla, or
Priscilla,
whatever.
right?
The Priscilla is
Yeah.
better than this. So,
Priscilla, yeah, because Priscilla gets to level 2.
yeah.
So this is 7,500, and hopefully they can't side it,
No, they can't front it.
or they can't front it. You can like use this on your opponent's turn too, and like shrink on your turn too, and shrink one of their characters and side attack. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can only attack twice.
If you have something that like goes away when it dies, like something like on death, like sack it, do something.
Which this set doesn't have.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Interesting.
Another cute card.
Alright. Who's this one? Andy?
This
We're
is
back to the
Andy
top.
again.
We got Cringing Roxy.
This is actually Cringing Roxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have Big Rudy in your level zone, this gets 2k and hand encore. So 85 encore, and then on attack, this gets X power times a number of other characters. I don't like it at all.
I like it, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's good. Clears 2/2s. Clears early plays. The one stock clear. Turns your junk cards into this card on your opponent's turn. I think it's totally fine.
I guess you talked me up to D, but it's not great.
I've been running
okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. It also can be your condition for to experience at level 1 if need be. I haven't tested this card yet, really. I just talked it over with some other people. Card seems fine. I'm not really 100% sold on it just yet. But yeah, it kills like level 2s and stuff that you can.
It's an out to standby for one stock, basically.
Yeah, it should be able to kill early plays that lose power, right? Like the aquas and stuff like that are like 11k on turn, but then 9k on
12-5?
12/5, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a one stock challenger clear. Is like all it is.
Yeah, because usually at level 2/2, you're like what's it called? You're kind of just chumping most of the time because you don't really care until level 3. This at least puts a body down that stays cross turn. So.
I mean, I guess, but like you guys also gave an F to the 2/1 10k with 2 souls earlier,
This is a 12-5 with hand encore.
but only 1 soul. I'd rather have the extra soul.
I'd rather have the hand on court every time.
I mean, I'd rather.
I'd rather be able to recycle the card.
Yeah, I'd rather be able to recycle it since it can kill big things.
It's like a 10k is going to kill big things too. If it's like an
It's
off
really
turn,
not.
It
No.
really
So
won't.
what's the 10k killing?
like if you mentioned like Water Goddess, it'd kill Water Goddess.
Okay,
Wouldn't-
cool.
it
Is
wouldn't
killing
kill
the 2/2
standby.
Boka? Is it killing the 2/2 Ishigami? Is it killing like a 3/2 what's her face? the combo and slime, the 3/2 that early plays.
The
I forget her name.
Shizu?
Shizu,
the
yeah.
No, it doesn't kill any 2/2.
It doesn't. To me, like it doesn't kill any like value target that you're looking to kill.
And this does, which is why you'd play it. But it also like recycles your junk cards, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
I
All right.
suppose.
Last card, the 1/0 blue event. If you don't have a Roxy, you can't play it. That's a non-issue. You always have the Brainstorm down at the very least. Search your deck for a character. Show it to your opponent. Put it in your hand. Shuffle your deck. If a card is added to your hand, choose a card from your hand. Put it into the waiting room. Send this to memory. Recollection. Send this card to the waiting room. When you level up, this card is in your memory. You may pay the cost. Search your deck for a character. Put it in your hand. Shuffle your deck. This is the entire reason to be playing 8 Global Soul Mushoku Tensei. You play the entire deck to play this card.
Broken.
The implication of this cards are insane. You go -1 to play it on the turn you play it, and then eventually the card goes even. If you refresh with this card out, you're +2 on compression. Typically, if you add your combo with this, you're going even on the turn you play it. Your hand's small on the turn you resolve it, but later in the game, you're getting a massive benefit for playing it. The fact that you can constantly rip cards, constantly get the right card for the right situation, you have insane utility. I think it's right. I think it's worthy of the S. I think this is the reason that you would play the set at all, would be to play this event. I think it's absolutely insane.
Don't think it's that good, but it's not far off.
I think this card's actually broken.
I think this card is really, really good. I think Carmen's right in the sense that this is the reason you play 8 Soul, basically, Mushoku or whatever, is for this card. And the only reason this card gets a busted rating for how it is the other 1/0 Roxy that gets you your triggers +2, basically. I think without that, this card becomes a little bit worse, but still really powerful.
Like, you have so many ways to refund your hand, like Kit said, with that other Roxy, that, like, the fact that you're going -1 to rip exactly the card you need on that turn is, like, negligible, basically. And in fact, I'm going to give it the S- just because I've experienced, like, dual color issues with playing the combo, but, like, I think that doesn't detract from the strength of the card.
I mean, there's also issues with like the tempo of it, the timing. I think it's the proper use of tempo. Like if you don't get this exactly on your first level 1 turn, right? If you don't have a bunch of these to fire off immediately, the timing of it can really screw you. Like if you get knocked up to a different level at like inopportune timing, that can kind of ruin it.
I don't agree.
Also, a lot of the decks are running that stock kick card. If you remember that card all the way at the very start. So if you feel like if you're, let's say you're a level 2 or something and you have a small deck, you can use that and pitch this event to instead salvage a card that you want.
Yeah,
So,
and like
I think
Makes
most
it a bit
people
better, yeah.
I think most people has lately been cutting that more and more after I played with it myself. I've cut in it. The power of this card is the fact that because of the 1/0 that makes your triggers basically +2, most of my games I don't resolve this till I level to 3. I will leave it in memory because my hand is already 7 cards. When I hit level 3, that's why I pull out like other pieces I'm looking for and things like that during when my opponent's swinging into me. And then it also increases the odds, 1, for me to cancel, and 2, if for some crazy reason I don't have a climax in my hand for the climax swap, it increases my odds of drawing into a climax as well, and like lets me late set up for things.
It's also like on opponent turn thin, on opponent turn grab tap counter.
Yeah.
On opponent turn, grab climax swap. On opponent turn, grab 3/2 like Roxy dig. Like, I don't know. Like the card, the more that I play with the card, the like more busted it feels.
It also, because of the timing of the card, makes it so that you don't have to spend sculpts on cards that you don't think you'll need. Like you don't need to like grab early plays, and then you find out, I cancel like one too many times, so this card's dead in my hand. Like you level up, and then you can grab a card out of your deck that fits the situation for the level you hit.
Yeah, it's almost the same
Yeah.
argument as we have with, like, what is it? These cards that salvage your search at Encore phase, where you can see where your opponent's at and then grab the card correct for, like, the upcoming scenario.
Yeah,
This card is that on crack, because not only do you see where your opponent will be, because more often than not, this card is resolving on your opponent's turn, like, you get to see where you'll be as well.
I don't know. It just sounds like you need to have so much right when you hit line. You got to have these. You got to have the 1/0 Roxy that turn your climaxes into pluses, so that you just don't have no hand. You need the Rudius for your combo. You need the climax. Like, you need everything all at once.
Well, and that's why I was
You need to barf your hand on your first level 1 turn.
Well, that's why I was advocating for cards like the level swap and things like that, because, like, they up the chances of that stuff not happening.
It just, I don't know. I haven't played with it. Maybe it plays more consistently than it reads, but it just seems like
I can
the
confirm that
play
it does.
you're advocating
Yeah.
sounds like you need to have like the perfect hand of like 6 or 7 cards and just boom, 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 just play everything down.
You don't need that 1/0 Roxy. It's just that's like the best case scenario for having this card is that 1/0 Roxy. Like this card's still like perfectly playable as long as you just have any Roxy on the board.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
if
having
you
the
read-
filter
if you
effect
read-
on it definitely makes it like playable. I'm not with you guys on like the S tier. I don't think the card's like busted or broken. It seems like an
So
option.
you said you haven't played with this card yet, right, Andy?
Well, I played against it. I
And
don't.
playing against it is nothing
Mushoku.
when you play with it. So like if you get a chance, maybe get Carmen's deck and play it a couple times. When this card was initially revealed, I thought the card was okay, and I was like, it's probably playable. And then I talked to more people, and they convinced me a little bit more on it. So the day of release, I put it in my deck, tried it out. I was like, all right, this card is actually really good. And the more and more you play with the card, the more like sick things you can find with this card, and like how it interacts with you and your opponent, and how it makes your opponent play as well. When you're like, yeah, here's a tap counter, continue your attack phase, is like really disgusting. And
Yeah.
like one thing Ollie said too is like the timing of the search is so powerful too, because you get a search when you have more information.
Because
That
of the
makes sense, right?
implication.
Yeah, exactly. What's that system called again? The what's his name? Dennis system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the-
Always Sunny system.
Yeah, because of the implication.
Actually sunny, yeah.
I
Well,
think
just
Goblin Slayer
always
actually
sunny.
has a card kind of like this too. It's like some dog tag event or something. It's this, but it doesn't have the filter effect on play, so it's like straight worse. But
That's card's
I
also
messed
level
around with that a
2,
little
isn't
bit,
it?
and it felt like pretty medium.
Wait, that card's like nowhere near as good. Is that you talk about? Oh no, I'm thinking of Double Bag.
no, you're thinking of double bag,
No,
Andy.
no,
Yeah,
The big
No,
thing with
no,
this card, Andy,
bag. There's a 1/0 blue event.
you have to think about it in the context of how it's played, right? So you play down this card, and then you mill out your deck. So this card costlessly puts you at +2 compression, and then gives you selection with full knowledge of your opponent's game state on the following turn. That's where the power comes from. That's what kind of Kit was
Yeah,
getting
I'm
at.
not denying that it's not like powerful. Like when it goes off, it seems like it'd be like insane.
You're just saying it's like, how do I get this like all off? Is what you're saying, right?
Okay, yeah. There's a bonder to this card.
Yeah, the level 0 bonder that we looked at first. The bonder that
Yeah,
looks at
there
your
is that.
opponent's top card, looks at your opponent's bottom card.
In reality, the bonder would be like kind of a garbage card, but because of the power of this card, that bonder card goes from garbage to playable, like 100%. Like
Yeah.
almost needed, basically.
You basically have to play 2-3 every deck that you play this event in. Because of how strong
So
it is.
you guys think that this is like the reason to be playing Mushoku Tensei is for
I
this?
don't think
Absolutely.
so.
to the card.
think
No,
so.
I don't think so, but I think this card is one of the reasons, if you will.
I
The
think
deck
this
is
card is
already
the
fairly
reason you play.
nice and consistent. No, I don't think this is the sole reason you play it.
think
I
it's,
don't
I don't know
know,
about
dude.
the only reason, but it's definitely one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah. This card. I mean,
Okay,
well,
this is
dude,
the
I'm
number
giving
one
it an
reason.
A+ when you're giving it an S. I think the card's really, really fucking good.
The only reason I'm knocking it as all is because like your level 1 combo is yellow and this card is blue, so it requires juggling to happen.
Yeah, the color requirement is an actual like issue with this card.
So
But,
I
like,
guess like
Yeah.
closing thoughts. Would you even consider playing like the standby deck or the bar deck because
Yes.
that kind of locks you off of this event?
The standby deck has things like reasons why you would play it, because you do have the tap counter and you do have the 1/1 Heiress, which is like a unique reason to play standby. And you have cards in a standby deck that you want to have in your hand, which is super unique to playing 8 standby. Like in terms of like meta, right? I think that if you want to play a Global Soul deck, you're playing Choice Pants. If your entire meta is standby that you're playing into and you want to hate on it, you play Choice Bar or 8 Bar. And those decks do like basically the same thing. And if you want to play standby, you can play 8 standby. So you have like 3 shells to play within the same set, which is like, pretty rare these days within the same 100 card pool. Well, I guess 125 card pool with promos to be technical about it.
Now in those decks, like in the bar decks or like the 8 standby, do you think you splash enough blue to play this event still?
There are people who are advocating playing blue in 8 standby simply to fate seal targets. I am not sold on it because I think the spammable does the same thing with less slot investment, but it is something you could do because there are cards again that you want in your hand that this card could get you on your opponent's turn, which would be pretty good.
I'm not sure if anyone said this too to help push Andy over. Is you main phase this, you mill your card, mill deck one more card out of your deck. Now your brainstorm's a 5-card brainstorm. All right, welcome to
it's like a gear.
Coming to my TED talk. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a gear. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good card. I just it sounds like it requires like a whole package to really make it shine, and that's like a deck building concession.
I don't know if that is the case. I think it's just your inexperience of playing with the card. Because I agree, never playing this card and looking at it, I was erring on the side of caution more. That after playing with it, now I'm like, a believer. Thank Jesus Christ and all that. Amen. This card is amazing. So.
Praise Roxy event.
Exactly. All right.
I think if you read this as a costless search 2, ditch 2, it's kind of ridiculous because that effect normally costs stock to use.
Yeah, and at level 2. But
And
Yeah,
it
and
gives
at
you
level
compression over deck.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, we can get into the lightning round. Wrap this up real quick. Rudy PR, I'm just going to read these real quick, and we'll rate them. On play, if your opponent has one or less other characters in their front row, choose a cost 0 in your opponent's front row, put it in their waiting room. And then really on good. Death Salvage.
Yep, our card's really good. It plays really good into the meta right now. This is one of the few cards that lets you actually salvage from the waiting room. I think most lists run 2 to 3 of this now.
Yeah, they're not running clean cut and they're playing this instead. I don't know if that's going to be true for English, but if you're playing into nothing but Kaguya, this absolutely dunks on the 6 runner strategy.
It's really powerful against Kaguya, and it's really powerful in the mirror match too.
Yeah, if you're only playing against Mushoku and Kaguya, this card's really good. If your meta is more varied, you might want to opt for clean cut, but the card's still insanely good.
Yeah, personally, I like clean cut more.
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have a much more varied meta than Japan. Japan's a lot more directed, and that's why they play this card.
Is it because it has Eris on the art kit?
All right, you caught me. I love my Mad King. I love her so much.
Still Fiat 3500 counter. If you want to play it, you play it.
Yeah,
fine.
Play it to save your early plays.
It's playable.
Level 0 Ghislaine, if you have another character, this gains 1 level and 1500 power, so it's 4500 level 1 if it's alone. And when it gets reversed, you can't use Encore in any of your lanes. Wouldn't play this card. But
Niko, give it the plus at least. Look at those tits.
It's better than garbage.
You're right.
Thank you.
They are massive.
Yes, I got you all. Andy, I need a +2 just for
two killings.
Her amazing outfit.
Great.
Thank you.
2/1 Eris, all your characters gain can side attack, and then when your other character attacks, it gains X power by other, so it's an 11, 13k in its lane. Timing of the card is weird. Don't like it, but it's
You would
better
just play
than,
that blue card I didn't like instead.
yeah, it's better than absolute garbage. This is the other good PR, the Roxy PR. When you play it, you mill 2. If you hit a climax, you can discard a card and salvage for free. So kind of like the what is her name from Review?
Yeah.
Mahiru.
Mahiru, yeah.
Mahiru.
And then when you play it, you can rest one of your other characters and perform a level swap. This is the other option for level swap. It's probably fine. That and the Zenith are about the same. They have different benefits, different drawbacks.
This seems like a way better option, especially if what Kit was saying earlier, like you play the Rudius level 0 promo because you don't have a lot of salvage options. Like, this is the salvage
It's fine
option.
if you hit. The problem is like the first effect won't hit very often, so
I like this more because it's an attacker.
it is an attacker, yeah.
It is an attacker, which is really good. That's like part of the reason what makes it good, and the fact that like it's free costless mill also that randomly gives you an effect that's really powerful for the deck because your lack of waiting room access like is there, so it's all right.
Yeah, I could see it in the same slot. I like the global 5 of the Zenith, but that's just me. But I mean, like, whatever.
Yeah, I think either card is fine, honestly.
Well, Kit, thanks for sticking around the whole time. While you
Yeah,
wrap
the
up.
People are just yelling at me, so.
All right, well, we'll wrap up pretty quick here then. Does anybody have any shout-outs before we go?
I guess thanks for having me. This is the first one I was on for quite a while. I've just never joined in any of these. It's a lot of fun being here. And I guess I'm gonna have a Mushoku Tensei video out pretty soon, so watch out for that on Burn One. Other than that, I'm good.
I think we have the tournament coming up too for Burn 1 as well next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
or
is it
not
week?
next week, 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now we have a singles event.
I won't be there
Oh.
because I'll be out of town, but there is
Wait,
a
is this
date.
is it online or like
Online,
or-
yeah.
When's registration? No, am I too late?
No, it's up. It's
You're
on
not too late.
Battlefy,
It's
yeah. And then Niko, Ollie, anything?
Nope.
Not really.
All right, Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz
Wait,
signing.
can I get
Oh,
real
yeah.
Niko back really quick?
yeah. What's up?
No shout outs from me.
All right, thank you. That's all I wanted.
All right, Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz signing off. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Bye.